In our continuing coverage now of the Belmont apartment evictions, this afternoon a group of marchers took to the street to voice their displeasure about the treatment of residents and the recent request for evictions. CBS 19's Darnell Myrick has more on this story. Darnell?
Yeah, Desiree, over the past few weeks, many residents at the Belmont apartment complex have been facing eviction due to a rise in rent placed on them by new ownership. And this afternoon, the community stood with them to voice their concerns. Over 100 people gathered at Belmont Apartments and then marched to the free speech wall on the downtown mall.
Housing is a human right.
To voice their displeasure with Drew Holzwarth and the new ownership group.
Holzwarth, we know our work.
At the Belmont apartment complex, residents and community members feel the new ownership group gave residents a raw deal by renovating the complex and raising the rent, forcing many residents to move out or face eviction.
Many of these people are senior citizens and disabled, so they're living on disability or Social Security and have trouble finding housing, but also meeting some of the conditions, things like security deposits in addition to first and last month's rent.
Thomas Holden, a former resident, was lucky to find another place to live, but he realizes other residents aren't as lucky, and he hopes other people who might encounter the same issue in the future have more time than the 7 weeks Belmont residents were given.
Minimum 90 days. Some new laws need to be passed, to protect people. Like I said, if something like this does happen, giving people more time, especially for folks that have lived in one spot for 40-something years, that also needs to be taken into account.
Goldblatt hopes today's efforts goes a long way to support residents who have to move, and she hopes the ownership reconsiders the tough situation residents are facing.
The owner needs to come back to the negotiating table. He needs to negotiate in good faith, and he needs to put in writing that he will work with these organizations in order to keep these people in their homes and to keep the rents affordable for them.
No more evictions, no, we won't go.
The community also wants city leaders to get involved with the issue so other people do not have to face the same issue in the future. Reporting in the studio, Darnell Myrick, CBS 19 News.